tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Johnson.
AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Miriam producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
You know who it is.
They talk about us.
See, look at that. Get it, Dan.
Wait, I just did this bit. They have no fears, no secret to reveal. Wrong verse, but that's all right.
That's okay.
No matter what they say.
That's right. It doesn't matter what he says, because we're here.
Anyway.
It's the Younger AFTERBUZZ after show. Thank you so much for being with us today. We are two ladies and a gentleman today.
Oh my gosh,
How about that? How about that?
God.
Lindsay, we miss you. Feel better. Absolutely. So I am Tara Johnson, your host for tonight, and I have, like I said, a very lovely lady and a very handsome gentleman with me, so please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Sam Davidson, and you can find me on Twitter at SamD43, and I am in the live chat. Lisa, I see you. Let's talk, and keep on talking to us, people.
Sounds good. Well, I'm Dan Babic, and you can find me on Instagram at Dan Babic and on Twitter at Dan Babic with an underscore. And great to see you girls again. I was just telling this beautiful girl next to me I miss her. I missed you as well, Tara.
Thank you. I
So
missed you
it's
too.
good to be back. Love you girls. Love.
We are back. And so
Yes.
I'm Tara Johnson. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TJ Wagging Her Tail. And you can find us on YouTube and SoundCloud and iTunes. And please find us there and give us 5 stars and rate and comment. I know Lisa's in the chat room, but we want you guys to hit us up on comments also, so we can talk all along about this Younger episode. It is season 2, episode 10, Bad Romance, and ain't that the truth?
Ow.
It's a lot of bad romance going on in this episode.
Yeah, not a good time for love.
No, you know what? I think the title of it could have been cliches, because there were a lot of things that felt very cliche to me in this. You know, Lies and her husband, and the rebound sex, and then that and the whatever. So we'll get to all of that.
Totally.
So Liza is doing her thing. Her daughter's finally back, and I know we're all kind of iffy about the daughter.
Does Lindsay like the daughter? I forget. Is she
Yes.
the one that likes her? Yeah.
I think so, because it's so funny, because me and I feel like Tara's like the happy medium, and then me
try.
and then we went to like, no, we're always like, we all have the opposite views to Lindsay, but yeah, I'm not
Because Lindsay's an adult, I think.
that's why we're still very childish, but I'm not too sad about the daughter coming back, because there's been a lack of love. It is nice to actually see, okay, I need love. I'm a love person. I love love.
Yes.
So the fact, even though, her daughter's as annoying as fuck and I can't bear her, I'm just glad to see a bit of love.
Yeah, she was a little less annoying this
Yeah.
episode,
True.
and I think I would be annoyed as like a watcher having the daughter be so close now and not in India and have Liza not see her.
True. I thought it was very
Yeah, I
weird
agree.
that she's been gone so many episodes this season.
I still think she should be there more, even though we don't love her, but like for her to be in New Jersey, it's kind of weird.
It is a bit weird, but
Yeah.
I'm just too fixated in the whole romances that have been broken up that I can't even think about the daughter.
Well, I have to say, when the daughter is around, and I guess it's a natural thing, but Liza really seems 40 plus. Like, everything about her changes. The way she handles herself, the way she talks. Like, I watched the screen and watched this episode and watched it and was like, she really is 40. Like, so often when she was with Josh, she was very jovial, very young, laughing all the time. And with the daughter, she just seemed like a 40-year-old suburban wife. There's nothing wrong with that to anybody who's a 40-year-old suburban wife, but it's just really, she really sheds her skin. She's 2 different people.
She is.
Which one do you like better?
I like. Well, of course, the whole message of the show is it's got to be somewhere in the middle. That's what it is, because it's too extreme, because she's too uptight, and it's just like, you can't be defined by a number, you can't be defined by your age. And she's somewhere in between. She's not the typical 40-year-old suburban housewife, and if that's you, great. That's not her, but she's not 21 either, so...
I don't know which one I like better, because it seemed very strange to me. David was back in this episode, the ex-husband, who we don't see a lot of.
No.
Let me ask this question. Do we like David?
No.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree with you. No.
No, yeah. I think it's just a reflection of her former life, and he was doing the dirt. He fucked her up big time.
Yeah.
And no, that's a past. It's all about her going on this new experience and finding herself. So he's a thing of the past. He's so yesterday, as Hilary Duff would say.
He kept saying to Liza, like, who are you? You look so different. You look so, whatever. Like, when'd you start wearing those boots? And when'd you start doing this? And when'd you start doing that? So I don't like her around him because she seems so different. Like, I can imagine Josh picking up the accordion in a restaurant and playing a music, and she would think it was like the greatest and the grandest thing. But with this guy, it was like, I'm so sorry, I'm embarrassed, like, we don't do this. She's just really different, and I'm not digging
she gets a little bit anxious when she has to be, at her biological age. When she goes back to that, you can see she's not comfortable being in that role anymore.
Yeah.
She's not that person.
Someone in the chat, Lisa, of course.
Lisa?
She said that David wasn't a big part of the book, which is an interesting
that's
comment.
right. Lisa is our insider
We love
to the
Lisa.
book.
Lisa,
Thank
Lisa.
you, Lisa. Well, he's not a big part of the show, and I'm happy about that. And so we can't not talk about David without talking about what happened between Liza and David. So I don't want to call it rebound sex because I would hate to give David that much credit. Maybe it was like what Maggie said, like boomerang sex, maybe. I don't know. But going down memory lane type of sex.
That's rebound. Oh, yeah. I think that's... I think it is boomerang sex as well as rebound sex. It's the combo. 2 in 1.
It kind of grossed me out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just kind of did. Kind of
I agree
grossed
with
me
It
out.
grossed her out too. Which I think was so funny when she woke up the next morning and she literally thought she was having a nightmare, and then her mouth dropped, like all of our mouths dropped. But it's funny, last week Lindsay and I were talking and we were going into predictions, and we were like, you know what, they're not gonna have sex. Like, that's way too easy. That's way too predictable. It happened right away.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. Like, it took him one kiss. I mean, okay, let's back it up and say what's the real cause of everything with Liza is the fact that Josh is dating someone else, or seemingly he's dating someone else in the press. This chick, Greta.
Well, isn't that very unprofessional of Greta, may I just say? Because Greta is supposed to be in charge of doing this article on Josh.
Well, I would say if Josh is single, it's kind of smart on Greta's part because Josh is hot. I want Josh back on the show, like in more than just like a passing thought and a photograph of him. I want him back, like on the show as a major part.
Same. I would actually, now that they're broken up, I am very sad, but I got sick of their romance. It was the same thing going on. Remember, it was like, I'm so over it. It's just like, I'm younger and I don't know, I'm older and I'm pretending to be younger. What do I do? And he's like, I don't care. And then she's like, I'm older. Like, I'm pretending to be younger. And he's like, I don't care. Like, every episode, the same shit. But now I'd love to see him go and explore his own thing. And I'd love for them almost to have a bit of a mentorship. Like, he keeps her young and she kind of steers him in the right direction. I want to see like a mentor type vibe. I think that would be nice because it's all about breaking grounds, this show, and about seeing women that work together. I'd love to see that a man and a woman can perhaps actually have just a friendship. Is that possible? We'll see.
Is that possible? And is that possible between the two of them?
Yeah.
I mean, as a friendship, I'm down with that. I just want him back on screen. So
Same.
whatever we need to do.
I love him. Yeah,
But then
he's great.
why is he going to have his shirt off if he's got to be having sex with somebody? That's the problem. In the past, I think some people predicted on the chat and on comments that maybe he would be part of the imprint in some way, like doing illustrations of some sort for something. I forget
I like that.
what that was, but there was a specific project the girls were working on, and it would be cool at some point if they needed his help, his expertise.
Yeah, Dan, I like what you're saying about Liza and Josh being friends because I don't see them getting back. This is like somewhat of a little prediction. But I don't see them getting back together instantly, or maybe even at all. But we got to find a way to bring him back because I think you're right. He brings out the youth in her. He helps her do different things. And right now, since they've broken up, I mean, she's kind of woe is me, and I get that. I mean, she really loved him, and they broke up. But I think he brought out some really good parts in her, so I would like to see him back in some kind of capacity.
And that's why I love the show, because, Darren Star, like, he breaks ground. And I love that. Like, I want to start... We don't see that on TV, of people who are friends in their, with 20-year-olds who are 40 and all of that. And people are in New York, when you live in a big city like that, people have friends of all ages. And I'd love to see that. I want to see something like that. I think, more breaking ground. Just keep on, conveying so many different types of people from all walks of life with all types of different relationships and friendships. I think's great.
Yeah, I think that's really great. I mean, so Josh dating this Greta chick whoever she is, whatever. We don't, it's really what's upsetting Liza. So she sleeps with David. So of course I have to ask, are any of us guilty of the rebound boomerang sex?
Ooh, I love this question. Oh my God, you can go first, Sam. Or if you want me to go first, I'm also comfortable about that type of shit.
You say you're uncomfortable?
Oh no, I said I'm comfortable. I actually I never have.
Interesting.
It's just funny, like I'm surprised, I'm sure I'll do it at some point, but it just kind of I haven't had a rebound yet, so, weird.
That's interesting.
I need to tick that off my list, it just hasn't happened.
Is that on your bucket list now? Do you want to add that to your bucket list?
I might add it to my, bucket list, get a good rebound, but no, okay. I haven't had a rebound.
It doesn't feel good, Dan, it does not feel good. I think I have had rebounds, yeah, and boomerang, whatevers. That for sure.
Right. Yeah, it's not a great place to be.
Tara, are you talking from experience?
It's not a great place to be.
Agree,
like, to me, like, when people break up, unless, depending on the reason you broke up, like, to go back and try to rekindle or see if something else is there or even spend the one night together, it's...
Desperation. It's coming.
Not a good place to be. Let us know if you guys, want to share your tales and woes of rebound sex or boomerang sex, whatever you want to call it. Because we're nosy, we'd love to know.
I know, I love it.
Here's the problem, though, with the rebound boomerang sex combined is if you have rebound sex, then, okay, cool, you don't know this person probably. If you have a past relationship with them and that's the rebound, that's just making that's like kind of adding a layer onto a past that is like bringing the past back. Because even if it's a rebound and they haven't slept together in years, whatever, it's still going to grudge up
totally
old feelings.
100%.
Whereas someone else that you don't know with the rebound, it's not going to grudge up anything. You don't know them.
Right.
I say stick to ice cream. That's what I do. I have my Trader Joe's ice cream, the soy milk one with the, what is it? Not sugar, but it's that thing that's not sugar that's supposed to be much better. Dehydrated cane syrup. Have that, guys. It's crack. That is the best rebound you'll ever have.
That's
Wine.
like his. That's a good. Okay.
That's my rebound.
That's a good plan B.
One tub, 2 tub.
That.
I don't care. Both at the same time, chocolate and vanilla. I'll do it both.
That's fantastic. I'll try that plan B from now on. Okay, I get that. Mm-hmm. So what do we think of David's "that was fun" note? Do we think we're going to see him come back? Is he going to try to declare his love for Liza and come back with flowers and do it the old New Jersey way? No offense, New Jersey, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's just one of those things that I was hoping. She's like, oh, we left a note, and we're all hoping that it either is kind of a blow-off because that's what she wants it to be, or, it's something sweet. And then when it kind of seemed as if it was a blow-off.
I thought so.
And then I'm like, if I were her, I'd be like, are you kidding me? We were married. We had a child, even though it would have been even more like, ugh, if he was like, I still love you. This was amazing. Ugh. Either way, I was pissed off at him. He couldn't win.
I was totally disappointed. You know what it made me think of? Speaking of Darren Star, and all the Sex and the City fans out there, does anyone remember when Berger broke up with Carrie?
Everyone.
Oh, with the Post-it note. That's what that made me think of. I was like, how dare he leave "that was fun" smiley face? That is Berger all over again. That's exactly what I thought of. I was just totally disappointed by his "that was fun." So what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you summed up with that analogy. I can't top that, so I'm just gonna. What she said, I was going to say. Yes, amazing, flawless.
Thank you very much.
Perfect answer.
Flawless.
Thank you very much. So we'll see what happens with David and Liza. But Liza has a lot going on this episode. So what do we think of Diana's advice to Liza about, let me tell you my suggestion about getting over romance: invest in your career, forget about love. Your investment in your career will always be the right thing.
It confused the bejesus out of me.
This is interesting.
Because I've thought for a long time that Diana might know on some level about Liza. Mm-hmm. But then, I thought she was going to be taking her out to lunch for an ulterior motive. Somewhere where it's like, oh, it's cool to bring your assistant to show you're a good boss day. Or something like that.
That sounds like something she would do.
Right? But it wasn't. It was actually genuinely kind-hearted, I think. And we didn't get closure on her, man-feminist guy. I don't know,
don't know what's up with that.
What's happening with her. So, yeah, it confused me because I didn't understand her motive behind it.
But Dan, you called this though. You said this for a while.
I did. I knew this was coming up, and I just felt it, and I really liked it because I liked that connection, and it was almost like love was popping up in different things, like the love that someone has for their employee. And I thought it's great because I know Lady Gaga has a quote that's very well known, and a lot of girls follow, that your career will never wake up on you one day and tell you that they don't love you.
Wait, what is it again?
So I'm totally not announcing it correctly, but I'm going to kind of say it the way it kind of is. She says, unlike a man, your career will never wake up one day and decide he doesn't love you.
I get that. Yeah.
So and I agree with that. I think it's not good to put all your energy into one thing, but I think you need a distraction. So many people, when they go through hard times or heartache, it's just like, that's all they focus on, but you need to, it's almost like you need to put it in a box. You need to allow yourself time to grieve, but you can't be crying the whole fucking day, can you? The first two days, have the ice cream and cry, but then after that, you need a distraction. And I think that's the perfect way to, to get over it and do something productive with yourself.
I liked what she said because I thought for the first time we were seeing some type of personal, sincerity from her. But it scares me for her to suggest to someone, if your romance isn't going well, just completely invest in your career. Because I think, like you're saying with Lady Gaga, saying you're right, your career can consume you, and you can look up one day. I mean, it's all about a balance, as we were saying before.
I was even like the last 3 months, I was there. Totally. 3 months, I'm like, oh God, I feel like so that's why I quit a few jobs but totally for 3 months, I did not have a life. Like it did not, it was 18-hour days. It was 3-4 hours of sleep a night. That was only 3 months. Like it would scare me for someone like Diana. I think deep down, Diana's actually dealing, I would say, with depression type thing. She's trying to avoid something that's going on, so she's trying to keep her mind racing and so busy. I would say that I'd like to see some of that. I feel like she's got some hidden demons, like we all do, that she's, avoiding by going to work and working so hard.
Well, I think it was her ex-husband and his gay fiance who were in the Times. I think she said she was saying their engagement was listed in the Times, but
at least she acknowledged the Josh thing and even knew what his face looked like.
That's true.
Totally,
say, oh yeah, that sucks for you. You know what? Now thinking back on it, she probably asked Liza out because it's like, hey, both of our exes are in the Times, and this sucks. Like, let's go have lunch.
That's so
but that's still nice when it comes. Yeah,
that's really. I love it.
Yeah, when it comes to her, that's still nice. I guess. I don't know if Diana is, because we saw how she jumped and pranced on the male feminist kind of guy, whatever. I don't know if she's so invested in career because it's what she wants or it's the only thing she has.
The only
thing she's got. Yeah, totally, yeah.
That kind of makes me a little nervous. What do you guys think about that? It's like Chris Rock makes the joke of men are only as faithful as their options. I think the joke is funny. I'm not commenting on that or whatever, but maybe I'm thinking with her, it's the same thing with her. She's as faithful to her career if she doesn't have anything else going on in the vagina area.
Because it's kind of crazy. I always feel sorry for people when you put all your eggs in one basket. That's why you've got to spread. You've got to put your eggs in multiple baskets. So if one thing fails, it's like, okay, I've got another thing. But you see with everything, with people being mums, even on the show, with people defining themselves by a relationship, defining themselves by work, and then when that goes away, they don't know who they are. And that's what happened to Liza. She defined herself as a wife. And then she's like, oh my God, I don't know who I am. I thought I was just a wife and a mother, but she's actually more than that.
More exactly. And so I would like to see, I would like to see Diana again with a love interest. So we'll see if we get that again.
Yes.
Not like breaking penises and stuff like that.
Someone normal,
we don't want that.
Someone semi-normal.
Well, here's the thing. I think not to get in ahead of ourselves, but what's going to end up happening is her and Liza are going to become friends, and she's going to actually open herself up and be like, I'm going to let you in my life, kind of, and then she's going to find out that Liza and Charles are gonna have a thing, and so then that friendship is out the window.
Right, real out the window. Speaking of things out the window, let's talk about a possible engagement.
Oh, it is an engagement.
It's definitely an engagement. We'll see if the wedding's out the window. I don't know. So Lauren has thrown herself into creating this. This was like one of the biggest engagement parties I think I've ever seen. Like, it was massive. I mean, it was like total 100% New York over the top type of style. Like, it was grand. Who paid for that?
Yeah, I mean, we know that still, Kelsey doesn't have enough money to not live with Lauren and her parents.
So, who paid for that?
Thad?
I don't know.
I think that was one of the things in the show. There's sometimes things, we various times, when they were going through that whole, I forget her name, the social media chick that was fake, and I'm like, sometimes the things that don't add up in the show, which surprised me for Darren Star, because I think that was just one of the things that didn't really add up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and have they said on the show what's up with Kelsey's parents? Did they mention that before?
No, but she does mention having kind of a traditional, she needs to get married in the church, and kind of mentions her family a bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, she didn't want her grandma to see her kitty cat. That's why she didn't want to wear a see-through gown. So I thought it was also weird that there was no one from her family at this huge engagement party. It was kind of strange.
I kind of want to walk down the aisle just to see her in the dress and then for it to all turn. So I want to see her in the dress. I think she's a stunning bride. We've only had one wedding from Hilary on the outside. Can you imagine how pretty they would make her look?
No, it's.
So I just want to see her in the wedding dress. Don't give a fuck about the relationship after that. Just want to see her in the wedding dress and then, oh no, he's a bad person, but I just want to see the wedding dress.
So Liza's at this, well, I mean, I agree with you. I think she's going to be a gorgeous bride. I would like to see, you know what, because of the fact of Darren Star's shows, you know, Sex and the City was so about fashion.
Yeah.
And this has the same kind of tinge to it, and also set in New York. I would like to see a big event like that from them too, to see
the clothes.
Yeah, the millennial clothes, you know, the millennial dresses and all that kind of stuff. I would like to see how they would handle that. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool, but also I just don't want her to walk down the aisle because it'll make her look so stupid that she couldn't have figured this out. Either she didn't believe Liza when she's going to tell her, or I just feel like it would make her look like I would like her character so much less if after finding out everything about her fiance, she was just like, whatever.
I agree.
Right.
What about she has a nightmare about it? What about we get to see the wedding dress, or she has a dream, get to see the wedding dress, and she's like, oh my god, I almost married him. That's what we want, Darren Star. Write that in.
That's what we want.
Yes.
So speaking of our favorite person right now, Thad, supposedly he is a stall rabbit. Which I've never heard that term before.
Hilarious, but it makes sense.
It makes a ton
I'm not
of
still
sense.
getting that. What is a stall rabbit? I still don't fully know.
So when like people that work in an office say a businessman that they have sex like rabbits in the stalls of bathrooms. That's where they
now I
go.
get it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm dumb. Today I was like, what? I wasn't getting it when I was watching it. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
Naughty.
if I just met this person at a mixer, the Young Professionals mixer that Liza went to, and she met this girl who was like, oh my gosh, I'm making so much money at the hedge fund, which I'm totally over her with that statement. I was like, whatever.
It's ridiculous.
Right. It's totally ridiculous. But she mentions she drops this whole thing, this bomb on Liza about Thad and everyone else, you know, being stall rabbits. I appreciated the information, but I don't know if it was 100% cool given the fact that you just met Liza 5 minutes ago and she told you my friend is engaged to this man.
Yeah, but if it's the truth, then it's like in the name of sisterhood and, you know, ladies helping out other ladies. I'm sure it wasn't coming from that place.
Exactly.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm glad that she told her.
Same, yeah. It's always better to know than not know.
True.
So I always say when people break up with people and they're like, oh my god, they broke up with me because they don't like me anymore. I was like, well, wouldn't you rather know now than, you know, like another 2 years? You'd be wasting your time. Yeah.
But why didn't Liza go straight to Kelsey and say, I was at this mixer last night. This is what this chick told me. Like, that's the thing I'm kind of wrestling with.
This is something I really wanted to talk about, especially with the fans in this episode, because so Liza had already kind of done that once, said, I think it was last week's episode, I think you might be making a little bit of a mistake. And the reaction was negative. Bad.
Yes.
So, you know, whenever you tell a friend that you don't like their boyfriend or something bad about their boyfriend, you'll try it once, right? And you'll not get a positive reaction. Then typically something else you'll find out will happen and you sit on it and go, crap. She's gonna literally hate me now and I don't wanna sacrifice my friendship. She's gonna have to figure it out on her own. But then when the girl ends up finding out, then she goes, why wouldn't you tell me?
Right.
And it sucks. I've had that happen to me before and it completely 100% sucks. There's no right thing to do because either way the girl's gonna be pissed at you.
It's a no win-win. You're absolutely right. Because that's what I said. I was like, you're letting her go through this engagement party. You're letting them do all this kind of stuff. All these people like getting them, making these toasts and everything. And you are sitting on this information. At the time, it was just an accusation.
Yeah.
She didn't have the videotape, but she had the info. And you're right. I mean, Liza tried to talk to Kelsey about it and Lauren and all the other random girls who came out of nowhere, right, at the bar. They came from nowhere. We never saw them before. Right. They were like, oh, you're right, we should say something. And they totally left her hanging out there when Liza said something to Kelsey.
Because they knew the rules. They knew.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So
but sometimes I think your friends need to be told, even something they don't want to hear. You know what I mean? Like this, I mean, I get it. I don't like that. He can be a jerk, whatever. That's one thing. But I've heard that he's like getting it in with the assistant in the stall of the bathroom. That's a whole different level.
I would wait until, because obviously the first conversation they had about him being a bit of an idiot didn't go so well. I would wait till I know for sure. And then, because then if it's just an accusation, I would wait till I know for sure in that type of situation. But I'm just a believer in selling the truth. The truth talking monster. So I think it's better to know than not to know.
I think it's better to know not to know. I think I would have taken the risk of losing the friend and telling her the information. I don't know.
Because your intention's in the right place. Yeah, you want the best for her.
But like you said, it's also from this random girl who kind of seems like a bitch.
Yeah.
And you have to take it with a grain of salt. But now, Liza does have solid proof, and that is, yes, if I had that, I would for sure. And I'd say, listen, you need to know this. If you would like to continue with your relationship and like me to never say anything again, that's fine. I'll support you, but here it is. Take it or leave it.
Right.
Boom. I feel like we're all on the same page.
Well, no,
we're feeling it, yeah.
Okay, well, let me just say one thing.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I agree she should tell her and she should show her the video.
Yeah.
But from the snippet of the video that we saw, and don't get me wrong, Thad's face looked like he was caught and like dropped on the ground. I didn't get 100% that they were like really kicking it in the bathroom, in the stall like that. I mean, it was a lot of hugging and laughing, and I don't even know if they showed them kissing. So I don't know. I feel like, you know what? I feel like that's too easy for the writers of this show. I feel like something else might be going on. It just seems too easy for me.
Sometimes
No
it is
way.
easy, yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like too easy, too convenient. Something about it was too simple to me, and I was just like, maybe there's some other explanation. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Lindsay would be screaming at you right now if she was here.
I mean, Lindsay did send us the email. Lindsay's not feeling well, and she did want to make sure that we told all of you guys that she thinks Thad is an absolute, like, piece of scum. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well, I think regardless, okay, let's say that they were not fornicating technically in the stall, and they were just like, I don't know, maybe he brought his assistant in because he had
That's still
something
cheating, yeah,
stuck
for me.
in his zipper of his pants. I mean, honestly, and if Kelsey comes up with that kind of excuse, then okay, I'd be done with her. I'd be like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. It's funny because people always define what like, you know, cheating and stuff is.
Yes.
Like in my books, if I was dating someone and they were even texting someone else, that would almost be the end for me, because I don't know, I'm so left wing, but with that I'm very traditional.
Right.
With
right.
relationships, very traditional. So I would like, if I was marrying someone and they were in the, like, there's no excuse for that. Like that would be over.
I'm curious to hear I'm curious to see what happens. Like,
Yeah.
because what Liza said to that, either you tell her or I will tell her.
Totally,
so
yeah.
we got to figure out who's going to tell her if she finds out. Like, I'm interested to see what the next step is. But maybe he could just pull the old Eddie Murphy, like it wasn't me. Like maybe Thad could do that and say that to Kelsey, and she's going to buy it. We'll have to find out. Because
Can you do an Eddie Murphy? It wasn't me. Can you do? I feel like you'd be able to do that.
Hey, I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, I wanted to bring up the fact about Kelsey, like, since she got engaged, and I'm not saying engagement isn't a big deal, but before the engagement, Kelsey was so career, I don't want to be tied down. Now it seems like the only thing they have her character talking about is this wedding and, like, all this kind of stuff. So it seems like she's made such a flip. And sometimes I think people get caught up in getting married as opposed to the relationship sometimes. And I think that's the tips and things that Liza been saying to her about, it's really about being in love with the person and, caring about the marriage and that type of thing. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous about how her reaction will be. I don't know.
Well, let's see. Ashley Franklin says,
Hey,
but
Ashley.
She
Hello.
still has to tell Kelsey she's 40, though, so they both look like liars.
Ooh.
Well, and that was Lindsay's prediction last week, that Thad is going to figure out how old Liza is, and then Liza's going to figure out that Thad's cheating on her, so they'll both be kind of blackmailing each other. However, Thad, I don't see him putting those pieces together very easily.
Desperate people do desperate things. You never know. But I'm going to say on that one. That's interesting.
Because if she's going to break such a big piece of news and show Kelsey a video, I mean, it's kind of, like, crappy for her still to be like, yeah, and I'm 40, just...
Yeah,
like,
gotta own your shit. Yeah, exactly. If you're like, I mean, of course he needs to be ratted out, because that's just, but you can't talk about being honest and being open. I want to tell you, like, it's the right thing to do when you're not doing the right thing yourself.
It's a really valid point.
Yeah. I'm just not getting why she hasn't told. Like, I don't understand. Like, I know we're not supposed to be that personal, but even the other day, you know how I said I've got this job where I pretend I'm 28. And it was funny, and I'm like, I told them the other day, I'm like, it was such an anticlimax. I'm like, oh, because I quit and stuff. I'm like, I've only been 21. She's like, oh, it could have fooled me.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing, yeah.
What do we think Kelsey's response is going to be when she finds out? I think it would be different if she says something, and I don't want to say Liza's going to cause their engagement to break up, because it's not Liza's fault. But once you get in those type of situations, it's very easy to blame. Like, it's very easy to kill the messenger, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? To blame the messenger. So, you know, it'd be very difficult for your messenger to come with this great message only to find out that she's been deceiving you too. It's going to be really hard if Liza tells her. Yeah. To come back from that. It's going to be interesting
and
to see.
It'll be hard for Kelsey to trust her.
Totally. It's going to be hard for Kelsey to trust anybody.
Well, I could, I could kind of see Kelsey finding out and then be like, how am I supposed to believe you? You've just lied to me forever.
Right.
And you're like 40.
Well, and you're like 40.
I honestly think she's been making a bigger deal about her age than it really is. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, come on. Like, you could, like, I reckon that's funny. Like, I've even had that conversation with my friends at work when I told them, guess what, I mean, no, it's not that big of an age gap, like 28 and 21. But I told them, oh, I'm actually 21. They're like, oh, you ass, oh, you little liar. No, like, it wasn't even a thing. It was just like, oh, you little, she just put such a big deal on it. So that's why I'm just ready for her to come out and see a new chapter of it, because I said if season 3 is still going to be the whole dilemma, I'm pretending to be younger. Yeah. No, but like, I want more than that now.
Yeah,
come on.
2 more episodes left, so I'm wondering if this like bombshell is going to drop in the next 2 episodes.
I think it's going to be really bad.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Shitstorm.
Yeah. So we saw Lauren being crazy, trying to take over Kelsey's, wedding and her engagement party. What did we think of the engagement party with the aerial like dancer and the hawk or the falcon or whatever she was doing and the? What was your impression of the engagement party?
A little over the top, And I think Kelsey seems to just want intimate things, but which is kind of against everything she does. Yeah. Everything she does seems to want to be big and like show off everything. Yeah. But I think, says she wants something simple for her wedding.
And very traditional. Mm-hmm. I guess we're seeing a different side of her since now she got a ring on it.
Yeah, I like that. I think we will see her family meet them. I hope we do. Meet Kelsey's family.
Yeah, I want to know more of the backstory. That's why next season we want 45 minutes, because I want to get to the backstory. I want to get a bit deeper, nice and deep.
Nice and deep.
Nice and deep.
All
yeah,
right.
Hallelujah. Absolutely.
Nice and deep. All right.
All right, we always have to have a bit of a sexual connotation on this show.
We can so pray. Okay,
yes.
So no Charles this week.
No Charles. Bit of a break. We needed a bit of a break from Charles.
Bit of a break. And no real Maggie, but you know how
I didn't need a break from Charles.
Oh, I needed a break. Sorry. I was, I get a bit sick of people. But I wanted more Maggie. More Maggie.
More Maggie. More Maggie. So anything else to cover on this episode?
No.
I think we just need to do a bit of predictions, because guess what? I'm about to pee myself. I'm like getting there. I'm like, oh my God, I need to pee.
You heard it then. We got to do some predictions.
We got to do some predictions before I pee myself.
Now, your AFTERBUZZ TV
exclusive. Oh, predictions.
Well, get that
there
prediction
we go.
out.
I know. I was like even thinking like, do I like make up a lie? Like, oh, I've got to go vomit because I am busting. And looking at all the yellow signs everywhere, it's just not so great. But my prediction is that in 5 minutes I'll be peeing. And my other prediction is, well, kind of, I've been going over it, is that we'll see, Thad find out about her age, it all to come out, but I don't want her to be blackmailed. I always kind of, with my predictions, say what I want to see and just hope it happens, but I hope she comes clean and it's no big deal and we can see a whole new kind of, topic and genre take place. I don't even know what I'm saying, I just need to pee, okay? So, we're going to go to you, but I do want her to come out and admit her age, but I just can't focus on anything else but going to the bathroom.
That happens.
Yes.
Okay, so even though Thad, that would suck if you were his daughter, he's a douchebag, right? But I think that maybe he will find out about Liza's age, and he's like, I'll tell her the truth if you tell her the truth.
Right.
And then it's like, he's not a totally shitty person, and Liza ends up telling her the truth, and Kelsey's world is just like completely torn to shreds and blown apart.
Yeah, that would probably go hand in hand. Yeah, to go 1-2 punch.
And I think though Josh is just gonna end up on Liza's doorstep like a cute little puppy, be like, I love you, I miss you, I just love you.
You can come on my doorstep.
I was going to say the same thing. Come on all of our doorsteps. Go start at Tara's, move on to Sammy's, and come to Dan's.
Come on my doorstep. I think for a prediction, this whole thing of David coming back all of a sudden and them having this kind of sex thing, I think he's going to be a part of the reason why people find out about her being 40. I don't know if it's going to be Thad or whomever, but it's like the more people get into the mix, the more Liza has to feel like she's going to be caught or found out. Mm-hmm. I do think he's going to come back and try to make a play for her. I don't know if he's going to come to her job and just try to declare his love. Who knows?
Ooh, I think that could be it. Yeah.
You know, but I think he's going to be a part, and he's kind of. I mean, he's a dentist, but he doesn't seem to be the smartest guy. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to have, like, any ill will. He's just going to be, like, wide-eyed and, like, oh, my gosh, I'm getting my wife back kind of thing.
Totally.
And I think he's going to be the reason why 40 comes out, and then it's all going to come out, you know?
Absolutely. Well, we need to wrap up now, so Daniel can go to the bathroom.
All right, well, let him know where they can find you,
You can find me at Dan Babic on Instagram, and then on Twitter at Dan Babic with an _. That's the quickest goodbye you'll ever see, because I need a pee!
You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at samdavidsonentertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram at samd43, and Snapchat at samdavidson25.
Well, you can find me, Tara Johnson, on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Wagging Her Tail, and also at wordswinewomen.com. And thank you so much for being here. I don't want to stop talking. I want to go ahead and wrap it up because we have people who have to run to the restroom. Thank you so much for being here this week, and we'll be back next week for another Younger AfterBuzz after show. And see you then.
See you guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.